Have you ever wondered why some organizations just consistently get better deals? Why they build stronger, more lasting partnerships? Well, it's usually not because they have one or two superstar negotiators. It's because they have a winning system. Today, we're going to dive into the Gordon Furlong framework, which is all about transforming negotiation from an individual art form into a core strategic advantage for your entire organization.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. We have this traditional view that celebrates the lone genius, right? The star negotiator who swoops in and saves the day. But what this framework argues is that true, sustainable success comes from the system itself, the organizational DNA that supports and elevates everyone. And that, right there, is a fundamental shift in how we think about this.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by diagnosing a really common problem, what I call the individual hero problem. Then, we'll explore the big-picture organizational shift needed to fix it. We'll walk through a 4-level maturity model and look at the 6 capabilities that actually drive progress. And finally, we'll see how this all works in practice and why it creates such a powerful strategic edge.
Okay, let's kick things off with a problem that I bet is going to feel very familiar to a lot of you. It's the individual hero problem. This is pretty much the default state for most organizations, whether they realize it or not.
We've all seen this person, right? The star salesperson or the savvy executive who just pulls a rabbit out of a hat at the last minute. And look, while these heroics can definitely save a deal, the approach itself is deeply flawed. It's unpredictable, it doesn't scale. And what happens when that hero leaves? All their knowledge walks right out the door with them. There's no system, no institutional memory.
The formal name for this state of being is Hockery, and it's the baseline, level 1. The source material paints such a vivid picture of this. Every negotiation is a reactive fire drill. Teams are scrambling, preparation is almost non-existent, and any lessons learned are purely anecdotal. It's basically a state of managed chaos. Okay, so that's the problem. And this brings us right to the core thesis of the entire framework. Because to escape Hockery, you need a lot more than just better training. You need a complete and total paradigm shift.
This is the big idea, the real game changer. Negotiation has to be reframed. It's not an art practiced by a few gifted people, it's a science, a systematic capability that can be built, measured, and embedded across the entire organization. This takes the pressure off any one individual and puts the power right into the system itself.
So you might be asking, how do you actually make that shift happen? This is exactly where the Negotiation Capability Model, or NCM, comes in. It provides a really clear roadmap.
All right, take a look at this pyramid. This is our map. The NCM lays out 4 distinct levels of maturity. You can use it as a diagnostic tool to figure out where you are right now and as a strategic guide for where you need to go. And here's the critical part. You can't skip levels. Each one builds the foundation for the next.
So let's just quickly walk up the ladder. We all start at level 1, Hockery. We've talked about that chaos. The first major goal is to get to level 2, repeatable competency. This is where you get standard processes and consistent outcomes. From there, you can climb to level 3, adaptive flexibility, where you're tailoring a sophisticated approach to fit the situation. And the pinnacle? That's level 4, optimized performance, where negotiation becomes this collaborative tool for creating industry-leading value.
Now, what's really fascinating here is that first big jump from level 1 to level 2. It's absolutely the most critical leap. A lot of leaders resist this, right? They're afraid that putting in processes will just slow everybody down. But this framework is built on a really powerful principle. Go slow to go fast. Think about it like this. Spending 15 minutes on a pre-brief protocol. It's a small, upfront investment that saves you hours of reactive scrambling and costly rework later on.
Okay, so if those 4 levels are our roadmap, what's the engine? What actually moves an organization up that pyramid? Well, let's take a look at the 6 driving capabilities.
Right. It's not magic. Progress is powered by systematically and intentionally cultivating these 6 interconnected capabilities.
These 6 capabilities you see here, they're the engine. They cover the whole shebang from high-level strategy, like making sure every deal aligns with your company's North Star, all the way down to human capital, skills, and, importantly, incentives. The real key, though, is that they all work together. They're designed to make sure that what's good for the individual negotiator is also good for the entire organization. A weakness in any one of these areas, and the whole system starts to get wobbly.
This all sounds pretty good in theory, doesn't it? But what does it actually look like on the ground day to day? Let's get practical.
Remember what we said about going slow to go fast? Well, this is a perfect example. A simple, structured preparation tool forces the team to get aligned before anyone even walks into the negotiating room. It makes sure everyone is crystal clear on things like interests, leverage, and that all-important BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. This isn't red tape, it's strategic insurance.
And what happens after the deal is done? You know, in the world of ad hockery, everyone just moves on to the next fire. But in a mature system, you learn. A post-negotiation reflection tool builds that crucial institutional memory we've been talking about. By systematically asking questions like, how were our key relationships strengthened or weakened? You capture insights that make the entire organization smarter for the next negotiation.
So, let's bring this all together. Why does all this matter? What's the ultimate payoff for putting in the work to build this kind of capability?
When it comes down to it, adopting this kind of systematic approach elevates negotiation from just a reactive, tactical function into a permanent, proactive, competitive advantage. It becomes a core capability that consistently creates value and strengthens your entire organization, not just for today, but for the long term.
So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. Every single organization is on this roadmap somewhere, even if it's stuck squarely in level 1. So the questions for you are, where is your organization today? And maybe more importantly, what is the real strategic cost of just staying there?